Hello and welcome to Retech. Today we're going to continue our Quicksilver or Mark Eyles story now, because as I said previously, Mark sent me really brilliant videos and his thoughts about the computer company or the software company called Quicksilver, and also thoughts of how you should progress or how things progressed into the future, and that included games developing and how to get into it. Now, these two short videos are put together into one. There's nothing been changed or edited really on these two, because the way Mark explains it and the way he comes across is absolutely fantastic, and you wouldn't really want to change any of it, because he covers everything from the start, from children, how to get them involved in technology and how they could do it if their school or college or whatever doesn't promote it as much. And that's brilliant, because for years we've kind of languished in this country around the computer science or computer studies is too difficult now. And one of the reasons for this, that children and school children think this, is because in the early 1980s, when you had the computer literacy program, and the BBC ran its computer programs making the most of your micro and so on, it was kind of promoted by the Conservative government at the time, which was a brilliant idea, to make Britain the most computer literate country in the world. And it's kind of worked. And that was, again, the government pumping a lot of money in to make it work and pumping the expertise in it where necessary to make it work. But after that, it kind of faded on a kind of downward slope, because it moved away from computer science, which used to cover, or computer studies, which used to cover everything from the history, from Charles Babbage onwards, all the way through to the then current kind of implementations and current hardware. Now, or rather just after that, they had a decade or so of where they just had ICT, which was basically using other people's software, such as Microsoft products and so on. It wasn't really computer studies or science. Recently they brought it back again, and it's rather different for school kids, because a lot of the school children and people who were kind of looking at it now think it's too difficult. It's far too difficult, you have to work at it and so on. So I think that's mainly because people's expectations have shifted. They've shifted from, you know, the more history and technical oriented side to using computer software. Now it's gone back to the more technical and history and so on side of it, which they were kind of promoting in the early 1980s, maybe up to the early 1990s. So getting kids engaged in it is always difficult, but it's worthwhile, and I think we need to start doing that. And it's something that Mark touches on, as well as game developing, how to get into it. And then he covers a bit about current games and current software and what he thinks of, you know, the current generation. So let's take a look at Mark's thoughts on this subject outside of the kind of Quicksilver realm. Okay, so here we are, we have Mark Eyles.
So, thinking about the games industry now, there are people who claim that it was all wonderful and innovative and fabulous in the early days, and then everyone put on suits, which did happen around 1984-5. All the suits arrived, but they claim that there's no innovation now, and everything's kind of it's all. No one's able to do anything innovative anymore, and that's not true. I don't think that's entirely true. I think that if you look at how easy it is to enter the industry now, it's completely different from how it was way back in the early days. That now there's all of these fabulous tools that are free and you can get online, and you can write a game and then you can put it online and sell it. You don't need a publisher or anything. You can go straight up on Itch.io or something, or if you've done something really good, put it on Steam, or there's Good Old Games, or all of these different places. Oh, Epic Store, but if you did something really good. But there are ways to market now which are quite easy, and there's all of those tools there, most of them for free, meaning that you can do all this fabulous stuff. So I'm not sure that it's more difficult now to create innovative games. Surely not. It's all down to coming up with those ideas and putting in some time to make them. Then there's also the whole, it's just all about money now. And, well, yeah, but depends. That yes, you do have the huge AAA titles where you have hundreds of people working on them for years and years, and it costs gargantuan amounts of money to create them. And there is some innovation in those. There is obviously the company that is creating those, that is funding those, that's going to publish them. They need to make the money back that they spent on it, or they will go bust and never make another game. So yes, they have to make sure that they're going to sell. But that doesn't mean to say that the people working on them aren't trying to do the most fabulous job, create the most awesome graphics, and also sneak in those really nice bits of innovative gameplay that'll make their game stand out from every other game that's ever been made. Why wouldn't you want to do that? You're always going to be wanting to put in something that's really, really good and really engaging and really fun, because that's what you need to do to keep ahead of the opposition and to earn that money back so you can do it all again. Yes, there will be a certain amount of being a little bit cautious in places and not being too crazily innovative. If you've got a franchise and you've established the gameplay for that and you're going to produce the next iteration, you're maybe not going to completely change it, but if it's successful, but you are going to try to make those incremental improvements. And if you're moving on to new hardware, new platform, new console or something, then maybe that's going to open up some things, not just graphics, but open up a bit more processing power, so you can do a little bit more. I think that there are people working in these big companies. Some of them, they're just business and money, for sure. But there are also other people who are absolutely passionate about games, and they got involved with the industry. The industry is mature enough now that you can have people coming into it who've grown up with video games and who are passionate about them and have developed these business skills and have gone into that industry because of their passion. So yeah, there's a mixture of people. There will be some people which it's more about the money, but there's certainly enormous numbers of people in the industry. It's why they got into the industry, because they love games. It's like, why not? Yeah. So are games boring now? No, they're not. They're fabulous. If only I had enough time to play them all. And all of those little indie games. And you don't have to make games for money. You can make little art house games. I've done that a bit. And that's fine. It's why are you making a game? Are you making it so that you can earn a living, or are you making it as a little hobby, or are you doing it as just a little bit of fun art thing, or for some research, or what, that it's all there. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide what, how you want to approach it. I mean, clearly, if you want to make a living doing it, that does restrict a bit maybe what you're going to end up doing. That if you're going to go and work for a big company, they're going to be probably telling you what needs doing on the next title rather than you telling them. But hey, that's a job, that's working in the games industry. So just full of opportunities now, just absolutely fabulous. And the industry is still reinventing itself every few years, which is always fun. You start off, it's on computers, there's consoles, new consoles, mobile, online, multiplayer, VR. It's all been very exciting over the last few years. There's always something new coming along, which goes, oh, have you thought about doing games like this? Have you played with this technology, this new technology that we've come up with? So it's always exciting, and you're always having to be right at the cutting edge of technology, and you have to keep on innovating constantly. And that's what makes it really good fun. It's just madness, completely crazy. I think that for school kids, it's important that they get exposed to technology. And within schools, it's kind of helpful if they do a little bit of some kind of simple coding and things. If you look at kind of A-level and B-Techs, there are opportunities to develop those coding skills and those technology skills that you need if you're going to work in the games industry. The industry largely wants people with degrees now, so that's kind of entry level now. You're kind of going to have a decent degree, or the alternative route into industry is to have developed a reputation through making stuff. So if you've created in your spare time an award-winning game or award-winning graphics or coding or something which gets you noticed, a games company will certainly take that seriously. It's incredibly competitive to find work in the games industry, but the industry is always looking for those fabulously skilled programmers and artists, particularly things like technical artists, where you've got that mix of skills. You understand something of the art side of things, but also can kind of get your hands dirty with a bit of coding. I think that it's vital that for kind of UK PLC that it invests in developing these skills in school kids and also at university level. If it doesn't, there are opportunities to teach yourself. There's an enormous amount of stuff online that tells you how to do things. If you want to learn how to code or how to develop games using a particular game engine, it's all there. It's on YouTube probably. And the best way to learn and to develop those skills is to go in and actually do stuff, actually make things. That's how you'll learn. What else? There's lots of free stuff, hurrah, which is good, game engines and things. And then there's things like, although you can spend lots of money on Photoshop and Maya and 3D Studio Max and stuff like that, you can go and get a GIMP and Blender and free kind of open source bits of software and develop things. So I think it's great that there are all these opportunities. I think that learning stuff in a structured way, in a structured environment, and with access to like all that fancy hardware, all the development kits and so on, is good as well.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed Mark's thoughts on the subject, and I hope you find it refreshing to hear probably things that a lot of people have already thought about, especially on the getting school children involved in computers and programming, and also the direction of gameplay and developing computer games, and what you could do even if you're not a multi-millionaire or don't have that amount of money behind you to promote your own products, or even, you know, you might not think you'd be able to do it because you don't have vast amounts of money to back a project. And his thoughts and his kind of just give it a go attitude is great, and it's great for computer science, and it's great for programming, it's great for the next generation of wannabe programmers, and it, you know, hopefully will inspire people to just have a go and see how it turns out. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you subscribe, because there's more to come. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you.